Hello and welcome to Conrad Seidel's Beer of the Week. Well, it's not this week's beer, it's actually last week's beer, because last weekend there was the Braukunst Live, which is the most prestigious beer festival in Germany. And it's not only one beer, it's not two, it's 635 that officially entered to that festival, and I think we can even discover some more than these 635. Come in with me and let's taste some. I really love those old streetcars. You know, it's good not to drive when you go into a beer festival, and here's lots of old streetcars. Of course, this is a museum. It's the Munic Traffic Museum, and they have lots of old streetcars here, and many of the stands here are just centered around one of these beautiful old streetcars. And there's lots of beers to see and, of course, to taste. In this case, we see not only hoppy beers, as you expect with a craft beer scene, but also very malty ones. You wouldn't expect Bavaria to be a country where they brew interesting stout beers, but indeed they do. This is a stout beer brewed at a brewery in Regensburg. A very smooth, very typical stout, and there's lots of more to see, so join me and let's see some more beers. One of the trends that we see in the brewing scene in the last few years is wood and barrel-aged beers. This trend has arrived in Germany, but of course it's more popular in the US. One US brewery that we see here at Braukunst Live is Urban Chestnut from St. Louis, Missouri. It was founded by Florian Coupon, who was a former brewmaster at Anheuser-Busch, and then he decided that he would have his own brewery. He founded Urban Chestnut in St. Louis. In fact, it's two breweries in St. Louis now, and a few weeks ago he acquired a brewery in Molnsach in Hallertau, in the hop-growing region of Bavaria. So the beers we see here are actually brewed in the US, but in the near future we'll have similar beers brewed in Bavaria, which is another trend that Bavaria picks up some US craft beer trends. In this case, it's a barrel-aged barley wine, very strong. We're talking about maybe upwards of 10% ABV. So it's a strong beer. It's a very aromatic beer. But you have to be careful. Don't drink too much of it. I tried to find another beer which is maybe slightly lighter. We're now standing at Hofbrau Munic. You know, that's the traditional Bavarian brewery, and of course you expect traditional Bavarian beer. But they give it a certain crafty twist. So you see it's a bit darker than a traditional German lager. It has wonderfully hoppy notes, and the idea is it's called fünffach gehopfte Hallode, a 5 times hopped easy living man. So it's a beer that has a lot of character. It has a malty character, as you can see from the color, and it has a hoppy character, but still it's a Bavarian style beer. Quite easy drinking, and it's a proof that the craft beer movement has even reached large breweries like Hofbrauhaus München. Festivals like these are places for innovation. One of the innovative systems that we see here is Ludwig. It's named after Professor Ludwig Narziss, who was a long-time professor at the University Faculty of Brewing in Weinstefan. And his students, they developed a dispense system where you could actually put some hops in there and you have freshly hopped beer. Now they said, why? Well, you can use hops. Why don't we use coffee? And they brewed a wonderful coffee stout. Actually, it's just a stout, American style stout. And then they dispense it through this system. And it's like being in a coffee shop with freshly roasted coffee. So as I said before, not all beers that can be brewed have already been brewed. There's lots of room for innovation. This being a very interesting innovation, and I hope I see you next week when we'll find another beer of the week, and I promise it will only be one.